So the purpose for starting this podcast was to allow people to tell their side of the story. So as my guest is going to explain, I like how she says there's the public side, there's the person side of the story, and then there's the truth. Oftentimes we get to hear what people think about us or something we did, but we rarely ever get to tell our side of the story, and who knows if the truth is ever fully revealed. But at least I have the privilege and opportunity to allow my guest to tell her side of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallon Allison. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Thanks again for joining us. So we have a very special guest in studio today. So this person is a San Angelo native, really Wall native, like myself, grew up here in this region. If you're from San Angelo or Wall, any of the surrounding areas, you might know the Allison family. So this is Fallon Allison. Thank you for coming on and for having trust in me and this platform to tell your story and your testimony. That really means the world to me because I created this platform because I literally have a store for stories like mine and yours. Because as we talked about, my story mirrors yours.
Very much
It's
so.
insane. Yeah. So much so that it's just, this is very, very important to me. So this is your chance to, because when we sat down, you said something interesting when we met for coffee. You said, so there are three sides to my story. There's the public side, especially if it goes really public and it's written about. Mm-hmm. There's my side, and then there's the truth.
Right.
And I said, man, that's so true. And I said, the thing about that is, unfortunately, if it does go very public and it's written by a media outlet, people get to see that and make judgments and assumptions, but most people never get the chance to tell their side and forget the truth. Sometimes who knows if that'll ever reveal itself. Yeah. But this is your opportunity, and I'm so glad to give that to you, to tell your side. So look into that camera when you're ready. Address the audience for those out there that don't know you, and tell them who you are and why you're here. Okay. Thank you to Maximus Nutrition for sponsoring the show. Maximus has some of the best nutrition and supplementation in the Concho Valley. Take it from me, as a strength coach for over 10 years, I've shopped there and got all my supplements from there. There's two, in fact, that I'd like to personally recommend to you. One is a good protein supplement called UMP Beverly International. It's got one of the highest bioavailability rates, so your body actually absorbs like 90% of the actual protein instead of like 60%. The other thing they carry is methylene blue. It's a really cool supplement. Do some research on that one, but it helps with mitochondrial energy uptake. So it helps you to recover faster, have more energy and focus in the gym. So thanks, guys. Maximus Nutrition. They've got two locations, the one on Sunset and the one on Knickerbocker. I want to thank Winter the Barber, our newest front-end sponsor of the Matt Cottrell Report. Winter the Barber is located at Fresh Cuts, which is in the Sunset Mall right across from Marshall's. Winter does it all. She specializes in men's cuts, beards. She does waxing, the works. You got to go see Winter. She also does the little kids. She's got great rates, also does walk-ins. Winter the Barber, tell her Matt Cottrell sent you. I want to thank the San Angelo Performing Arts Center and my good friend Yuki Kunoyuki for sponsoring the Matt Cottrell Report. SAPAC is really great for San Angelo and the Concho Valley. Guys, the more we get out and watch live performances, whether it's a comedy show or live music or anything they put on over there, it's going to help our community grow with the arts and culture. So thank you, SAPAC, sincerely from the Matt Cottrell Report. We hope to see you at a show.
Hey guys, my name's Fallon Allison. I'm born and raised here in San Angelo, Texas, born at the Shannon Hospital. I went to Wall from K through 12. And a little bit about the Wall community. I have them on a high pedestal because I grew up with a single mother out there, and as you know, like there's just such good families.
Yes.
And I think being brought up around just such good structure, and like even if my mom and I like wanted to go have dinner at my friends, they were more than welcome to have us at their dinner
Yeah.
table. It wasn't like she's single, and
Right,
she's
yeah.
that kid, we don't want her to
There
be
was
here.
never a second thought like that.
No,
Yeah.
I never felt like unwanted. It was always a sense of belonging, and the community was just unbelievable. And another big factor for me was being involved in athletics. We had the best coaches. I definitely got yelled at a little bit here and there because that was good for me. But I learned discipline through athletics, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And then also the education teachers were on top of it. It's a public school, but I
It's a
consider
great
it
school.
a
We're so
private
lucky
school.
to have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing a little bit, but we're going to get into all of that, and I want to share something with you I want to know sort of about your childhood, and before we do that, I want to share something with you.
Okay.
So I went to Central, and I was 2 years, I think, behind you. I think I was 2 years. I was 04. When did you graduate?
I was 03.
So 1 year.
1 year.
So I remember there were always these girls like in high school that were like legendary, right?
Oh.
And so a couple of those girls like at Central were like Lauren Williams and
Oh, yeah.
What was Lauren's friend's name? I can't remember her friend's name. But they were like these, and you were one of those girls.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, but you
Oh,
were a wall
gosh.
girl, and so I remember we were going to this party, and a friend of mine who you probably know, he was like, "Yeah, we're going to Fallon Allison's party in Wall," and I
Yeah.
remember being like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" Like, and I saw you, and you were so beautiful and popular, but you were very kind. Like, I couldn't believe how kind you were when I met you, because I was expecting something, I don't know. And I remember you said, you go, I know you. You go, you're the guy that's dating Haley. And you didn't really know me; you just knew that about me because she was very popular and beautiful, But that's
Haley
something.
Lehman?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, great girl.
That's something I always remembered about you. It's the only time I ever interacted with you in high school, but I could not believe how kind you were, and then it stuck with me.
It's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was cool. So I just wanted to share that with you. But tell us a little bit about your childhood. What was it like, growing up in this area at Wall with your family and stuff?
Okay, so because I'm a child of divorce, my parents divorced when I was 3. I was raised with a single mom. She was the best mom. Like all my friends, sometimes I would come home from school and this is like junior high level, but one of my friends would be at the kitchen table talking with her, getting advice from
that's
her.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she just would give if I had backpacks that were extra or clothes that were extra. She was always donating them to the schools, and
Wow.
she just like didn't have a mean bone in her body. And so any kind of kindness and goodness and positivity, I really feel like I inherited that from her.
Yeah.
She's always taught me, put yourself in the other person's shoes, which as a kid, my first thought was, well, I like my own shoes,
Yeah.
and then later I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she was great. So and I had full custody with her. So, but I would go see my dad on the first weekend of the month.
Yeah.
And when I would go there, I didn't get to spend much time with him. He was usually busy doing work or something.
Yeah.
And so I would not get stuck with, but having to play with the 2 stepsisters
Right.
that were there at the time.
Yeah.
And I think as a child, it kind of, I developed a little jealousy.
Yeah. True.
Because at that time, my mom and I, we had a nice house, and but it wasn't in Bentwood or
Right.
with big screens
Yep.
and all this and that and
Same here.
all the glam and glory and so that was like such an important thing, and I just was a little jealous, kind of like, why do
Yeah.
they get this and why do I not, and why do I not get to spend time much with him? But so I kind of feared him a little
Really?
bit, a little bit,
Yeah,
a little bit.
that can be healthy in a way if it's
Yes.
done right. With
Yeah.
not too much fear. You still got to have the unconditional loving part, but yeah.
Yes, and so that was my childhood. Like Christmas, I would do Christmas Eve with my mom,
Yeah.
and then Christmas Day with my dad.
Oh yeah.
But no, I had no abuse. You know, there wasn't any issues like that.
Yeah.
I just really think I developed maybe some self-esteem, self-confidence issues. And then I always, even since kindergarten or first grade, I had to have a boyfriend. And
Yeah.
I really think that stems from just the wanting to be wanted.
Yeah,
or,
absolutely.
you
I can
know,
relate. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
and now I realize it wasn't about me. He was doing, he was doing, he had his own thing going, and
Right.
it wasn't personal. It's just how it was.
Yeah.
And so
What was the, like, if you were to get in trouble and let's say you had like one of those big pivotal moments, you broke like a family heirloom, was your instinct to, like, at 4 or 5 years old to run and tell dad, hey, I broke it, and he'd be like, it's okay, like, let's learn a lesson from it, but it's okay? Or were you like, oh, I could never tell him, I would tell my mom but not him? Who was your safety, and who was like
definitely my mom.
Okay.
And thank you, Lord, I didn't never break anything.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
yes, but I do remember a childhood memory. I was a bedwetter when I was little.
So was I.
You were?
Yeah, second. Yeah,
I think
I had a
there's
phase.
something to that.
There is, absolutely. I think so too.
And
yeah.
and I think adults a lot of times, because it's gross and they don't have to deal with the sheets and all the things, and they think that it's a lazy thing that you're doing it on
Yep,
purpose.
exactly.
But I swear it's like I'm just asleep so hard
Yeah.
I don't wake up. And
Oh my God,
and
I can relate to
so
this so much.
I can
yeah.
still remember waking up and I went to bed, but I was too embarrassed and I didn't want to get in trouble, and I was going home the day, so I just covered the sheets up and left. Well, a whole month went by, and so then the next time I came back to their house, I'd already forgotten that that
Yeah.
happened. But my stepmother at the time, she really got on to me bad about that, and so I'll never forget that. Just I didn't really like saying no. I was a mama's girl. Like, I didn't like leaving
Yeah.
my mom or like spending the night. I would spend the night at place, like
She shouldn't have been hard
sleepovers.
on you like that.
Oh,
I went through a very common experience when my dad was remarried with the same issue. So it's something that when you said that, I was like, I know where she's going with this, and it just like gave me chills a little bit. But
'cause I didn't remember it had happened.
Yeah.
And then my arms getting grabbed. And I'm
yeah,
like,
it's interesting. Like, I think about that and the difference of how, let's say, my dad would have dealt with it versus my stepmother at the time. It's just completely different. And so I understand like how you didn't feel safe, sort of, and your mom's place was your safety place, yeah. But at the same time, you wanted those things that your stepsisters had with your dad, and that life they had created.
I did, but at the same time, like I
Would you have traded it? Would you have gone? I was
No.
gonna. Okay, yeah.
No, because the love
Yeah.
and warmth and unconditional love that I had with my mom and my grandparents, with them, there's just no comparison.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
not that I was their everything, but I was their everything.
Yeah.
And my dad's, I was just kind of in the way,
Yeah.
and no one wants to feel unwanted,
Yeah, for sure.
or oh, she has to be here this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Did it feel like that sometimes? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he knew
yeah.
because we weren't on that level, because I was little, and so he just thought, the wife will take care of it, it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he never knew about the bedwetting thing or the incident ever.
yeah.
I never told him about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we would, Allison and I would get in trouble, like if we were jumping on the bed.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know the rules there either.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
she would be like, we can do that, da, da, da. And then we would get in trouble. And I remember getting swats with ping pong paddle or the back of a shoe brush, but nothing detrimental.
Exactly, yeah. And so early on, what was school like for you? Like, let's say late grade school, middle school, were you like the popular girl? You had a lot of friends. When do you think the self-esteem issue? I'm sure they were there because of what you were going through. Because I can relate. But what was that like?
So I was the kid that was the ADD, ADHD, all the letters on no medicine.
Same here. Yeah.
Because my mom and I guarantee every teacher probably approached her and was like, she needs to go get tested. She needs to be on medicine. But my mom just held her ground and was like, no, I don't want my daughter to be one of those that just sits there and stares at the wall. And I don't want her to get, because the reality of having addiction in both sides of my family too, and in the 80s and the 90s was brain research, so they were just coming out.
That's right.
We don't really even know. We don't know what the long effects.
That's exactly right.
We still don't. We're guinea pigs.
Yep.
And so I'm grateful for that. I got through school.
Yeah.
I was very organized. Like, so, when you had projects, my projects they were always phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I really struggled with math. And
same here.
So much.
This is crazy.
I was on the concrete level probably till college.
Same here.
Yes.
I remember, real quick to interject, so same here. My dad's awesome at math.
Mine too.
And he would tutor me, and it was just harder for me to get that subject than any other subject. So it frustrated me, but he was real patient. And I remember in college, the last math class I'd ever have to take.
It clicked.
No, it didn't click.
Oh.
I wish I could say that. Was college algebra. And then I would be done with math for the rest of eternity. And I remember being done and walking out of there and being like, is this real? Like, I'll never have to do math again?
Yes.
But I always wanted to be good at it. But it's interesting that we share that.
Yeah.
But I bet you were good at reading and writing and stuff, huh?
ELA.
Because we both use that side of our brains, I feel like, a lot.
Yeah. Like I had the creative side of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I in math, I figured out real quick how to manipulate and have a stomach ache, and I needed to go to the nurse. So I basically could get out of the math class and go hang out with the nurse and eat crackers and 7-Up. But just because I couldn't stand like how I didn't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
And like there was no way around it. There just wasn't. And I can still remember I took my algebra class at Howard when I was out at the base, and it was the final exam, and I remember turning it in and he graded. I made an A, and I jumped for joy, and he looked at me because he's used to probably everyone cheated. Yeah. And I didn't, not one time in college.
Amazing.
And I can't say the same thing in high school.
Yeah.
But in college I didn't. Yeah. And I knew I deserved that, so I was so proud of myself.
Wow.
But
so was it the same for you? You never had to do math again either after that, or after that class, or did you do some more math?
I think I did statistics, and then
probably hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I did a finance class.
Well,
and then when I got my real estate license, but there's not as much math as you think there is on that.
Yeah.
But I did have to learn.
So getting through high school and that experience, you graduated and it was time for the next chapter.
Well, okay, so after my mom got sick when I was 14.
Oh, yes. We need to talk about that.
And no one knew what it was. They didn't label it. They didn't label it cancer.
I didn't know that,
they didn't say cancer. So you think as a kid you're like, okay, well she's gonna be fine, and they just couldn't figure it out at community when we saw community, and they just kept poking and prodding, and they finally said, we need to send her to Baylor to Dallas. So they airlifted her there, and it went from one thing to the next. Like she might have to have a heart transplant to, okay, now she's having kidney failure. Yeah. And at that, and I was still so, I guess, naive and looking only at the positive and not even going to the part of she's not going to make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so were at Dallas and all of that, and then they said, okay, she can come back home, and she did, and she was on dialysis treatment 3 times a week, and it wore her out. And
Did they come up with a diagnosis, or was it just kidney failure?
They ended up calling it like vascularitis, and
Okay.
I've done lots of research on it and everything. It's not hereditary.
Dang, it's weird.
It's similar to lupus, but I guess just something gets in your blood, and then it attacks all of your organs, and so that happened.
Dialysis 3 times a week.
3 times a week, yeah. And so sometimes I would wake up like before school would start, because I lived at Wall, and I would take her in. But for the most part, my grandparents would drive out and take her and everything.
Yeah.
But one thing I remember is through all of that, she never stopped smiling.
Wow.
And she never took, like, wanted people to take pity on her.
Yeah.
And so just thinking about how brave she was.
Yeah.
And I think I was 14, 15, 16 at that age where I kind of just like, this is just like messing up my plans.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with this. And I think that was my subconsciously like being scared.
Yeah.
But
like, oh God, she's in my way. You know, like, or she's like sick, and I'm trying to, you know.
yeah, like, why can't you just get better and
Right.
be
Yeah.
normal?
Oh man.
So that was the first time, and we were in Baylor, and then so we had a whole year. And one thing my dad did do, he stepped up, and he had our whole house remodeled, anything she wanted. Yeah, because he
that's
always
cool.
loved her. She was his first love.
Yeah.
And he remodeled the whole house, and so she was so grateful and so happy about that. So she did the dialysis thing for a year, and then that following summer, again, so her back just, I can still remember, I was sleeping and I could just hear someone screaming my name, but I thought I was dreaming.
Yeah.
And then I realized I wasn't dreaming. So I hopped up, and she was standing at her bedroom door, and she was like, Fallon, Fallon. And something just came over me, and I had the strength, and I just picked her up, threw her over my shoulder, and put her in bed, and like just was rubbing on her back until me and Papa could get there. And then then we had to go back to Baylor that summer.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was planning on moving in with my dad, and he had remarried again.
Oh, he divorced and got remarried?
So yeah, it's Valerie, and then was she the second one? I think she was the second one. But and she had a little girl, but so we all lived there, and I was in Baylor at Dallas, and I can still remember this nurse, Amy. She came up to me and she said, okay, she's moved out of the ICU. She's in her room. She's going to be home. Everything will be fine. So I was betting on that because it was around April, and so I needed to get back and get my finals completed and everything.
Yeah.
So my boyfriend at the time, he drove to Dallas in his truck, and he was there, and so I made sure. I was like, okay, so that means she's gonna be right behind me.
Right.
And it was on a Sunday night, and so it dropped me off at home, and I was in bed for school for the next day, and I can still remember the phone rang, and I knew it wasn't something good. And to my bedroom, I had those doors that went open like that. You could hear them open. And my dad walked in, and his face was pretty red, and he had the phone, and he said, he sat next to me, he said, Baylor called, and they called all the family back up to the hospital, and usually if they do that, it's not good. And but I still kind of had a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And so then after that, off the phone, he went to bed, and I just laid in bed and just prayed and prayed. And then about 30, 40 minutes after that, the phone rang again, and I knew. And he came back through the doors, and his face was just red as a tomato. But so I was the only one not there. I just let, because I left.
Yeah.
But so how I have to think about it is she didn't want me to see her give up. She didn't want me to see.
There's a reason you weren't there for sure.
Yeah, she didn't want me to see her give up, and
exactly.
And
Yep.
so yeah, that was pretty tough. And then, but what held me together was the community. Just
Really?
everyone came together.
Yeah.
And just
Wow.
with the support. And
How old were you? 16?
16.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was 16.
Yeah.
And then, so from there, I did try to go to Central. Okay, so I
You
was.
did?
I
Whoa.
my MO was I'm just gonna run away from this
Yeah.
and not think about it
Yeah.
anymore, and I won't. I'll get a new start. So I don't
Okay.
know if you knew like Jennifer Simlinger and Stacey Foreman.
Yeah.
They were a year older than
Yeah.
me, but they took me under their wing.
Yep. That's
and
crazy. You were at Central?
Yes.
Wait, you remember?
I
Were you a junior? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's crazy because I was a sophomore, so I was there too. Maybe that was the time. That's got to be the time I met you.
I was there.
That's crazy.
I was there probably a couple of weeks.
Oh well, I just mean you had to be a junior and I had to be a sophomore. I know that. I think.
Yeah.
But you were probably back at Wall anyway. Just a couple of weeks. How come?
I just missed Wall.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was it was a little too big.
Yeah.
My mom went in 78 graduated from Central.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah, she went to Central.
cool,
But
yeah.
I just going K through 12
Mm-hmm.
and that was my home.
Yeah,
And so
for sure.
I don't know, for some reason that year Wall was starting 2 weeks later than Central.
Mm-hmm.
So I had called the counselor, Miss Jamie Barker,
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Is there any way I can come back?" And she said, "We didn't even take you out of the roster."
Really? Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. So,
Yeah.
and my dad knew that was the right choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I got to go back out there, and when I did, then I just threw myself into anything and everything.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I was president of Tri-High Y, which
Oh
is which
yeah,
is Central
I
thing.
love Tri Y.
Yeah.
The dances and stuff.
I was a Theta Pig.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And-
awesome.
Yeah, and
yeah.
then I played club soccer with all
Yeah.
the Central girls.
Okay.
So and then I would cheer.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I didn't know how I was doing it.
I know.
all,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
no drugs, no medicine.
Oh
just
no, I know.
all
I
of that. So
knew that
it's
about you, yeah.
possible to do that. But
Sure is,
what
right.
I think I was really doing was just avoiding things and not grieving.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until that it was time to go to tech
Mhm.
that it really hit me.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
So you graduated. Did you know you wanted to go to tech, or was that were there other options, or what? Or you just knew?
So I barely got into tech. I had to do like the summer program before
Yeah,
a couple
probably remedial math,
You know?
right?
I had to do two
I
classes.
did, yeah.
I had to do. I just remember you had to pick two classes, and I met a lot of friends there too. But
Mm-hmm.
just being in a new town, and I'm not a very good driver or direction.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got the hang of it
Mm-hmm.
after a while and everything, but the dorms and just everything,
Yeah.
I don't think I was just all there mentally.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's whenever I did start taking medicine for studying, and
Yeah.
I lived at the library.
Yeah.
And but I was in a sorority, but at the same time, like I would have been fine just staying in San Angelo. I could have got a scholarship playing soccer. My dad
Wow.
was proud of that.
Yeah.
But
Dang.
but all my friends were going to tech.
Yeah.
And
You wanted that adventure.
And I
you wanted to get away.
Well, and it was a superficial thing, but he
Okay.
went to UT.
Yeah.
And so a label,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, oh, I went to tech.
For sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So did you feel yourself like once you got there, like what changed? Were you like, okay, like now, like,
I didn't have the community holding me up.
oh, that's good. I was wondering about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I just felt alone.
You felt alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so were you like party girl? Like you said you were taking medication like Adderall or something?
I was a mix.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I would do both.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it came to substances, where you go out and drink and stuff, and
Drink,
you're doing
smoke.
the Adderall for college,
Yeah, and then
for studying,
smoking some pot.
smoking pot. Were you introduced to any other drugs at that point, or
No,
anything else that ever?
no.
Okay, yeah,
No.
yeah. And so then how did the rest of college go? Then what What happened at Tech?
Well, it
all
took me
went well?
5 years to graduate.
Me too. Texas
But we
State,
graduated.
we did. Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
09. When were you?
08.
10? Oh, 08. See, 1 year. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
So I was like
Yeah.
so proud. I was so proud of that. But it was we graduated in 08, right whenever the like recession or the
Well, that's when Obama was elected.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all the things. And I wanted to be a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
so
yeah, you're right.
they were laying people off. So I was just thinking, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And my Mimi, we were driving, it was raining, and we were driving by Angelo Catholic School, and I had my resume and everything, and I was like, I'm not getting out of the car. I'm too scared. She's like, get out of the car. I know the principal.
Really? Yeah.
Because my grandmother was the secretary at SEISD for 30 years.
Oh, she was?
Yes. They're all.
What was her name?
Carol Pelzel.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she
Get
was
out
the
of the
best.
car. Yeah, no, yeah.
She was like, get in there, do
Yeah.
it. And
You were just applying there to, or what? What do you mean?
So, by the grace of God, the teacher that left, her husband was military, so it was just last minute. They needed someone
Okay, yeah.
because everybody had already been hired by the time
okay.
I got back.
Yeah.
And so I got that job, and it was so rewarding. Just because we would go to mass, we do rosary.
Oh,
I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so
How long were you the teacher there?
I think 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What grade?
For fourth.
Cool. Ooh, that's a
Fourth-
good one.
Fourth grade,
Yeah.
But it was private school, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to be stressed about the testing and everything.
yeah.
But at the same time, I made sure, and we had to incorporate mass and
That's
and
neat.
religion.
Yeah.
And religion. So
Uh-huh.
as I was teaching the kiddos, I was teaching myself and
Wow.
and growing
Absolutely.
closer to God.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then so about 2013.
Was that a good point in your life, do you think? You
A
feel like?
great point.
I was going to say, yeah, you
Yeah.
were just where you were supposed to be probably at that point. Yeah.
I was where I was supposed to be, and then it was like I kind of kicked myself, like, why did I leave?
Why
Because
did you?
money. I thought if I went to SAISD, I would make, and it's only $1,000 more. And,
Wow.
and in my case, I spent every bit of my paycheck in the classroom.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
I just
absolutely.
I was just
Teachers still spend a good portion of their own money on their own kids in classrooms.
Yeah, but I had impulse control on things.
You did? Yeah.
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 Especially like you get online and
Uh-huh.
yep, we need that.
Yep,
We
yep.
need that.
Yeah.
Everyone matching folders.
All kinds of posters, all kinds
like
of
that.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. But
It was fun, I bet, huh, teaching fourth graders.
Yeah.
Especially, I bet, in a Catholic private school.
And the year I taught, for some reason it ended up being all girls.
Interesting.
There was one boy enrolled, and he decided
He's like, nope.
No, he was like, nope, I'm out of
nope,
here.
I'm
out
gone.
of here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the craziest thing is the other day I went to pay my phone bill,
Uh-huh.
and I think I might have told you this, but I walked in and I said, I'm paying my phone bill with cash, and she said, your name? And I said, Fallon Allison. She goes, Miss Allison?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like, and she's like, it's me, Juliana.
Yeah.
And she's already graduated college.
That just
She's
happened the other
getting her
day, you said,
master's,
right?
Yes, and
Wow.
yeah, and so I loved her parents. That's one blessing I had. And this isn't me like tooting my own horn, but I never had an issue with my my students' parents.
Oh, really?
Never.
Yeah, that's
not
great.
Once.
Yeah.
And because I don't have children myself,
Mm-hmm.
but they knew that I had their children's best interest
Right.
at heart,
Yeah.
and that I didn't look down on
Mm-hmm.
them, because no parent wants to come in and hear, oh, Billy Bob, oh, he's so bad, he does this, he does this, he does this. So to always try to just start with positive things.
Nice.
And almost all of them had positive
Yeah.
things. Maybe a couple little things that needed to be worked on a little bit, but I never would, like, they got them to school, they had them fed, they were,
You were looking at all the good
you know,
things they were doing.
and they were
Yeah.
practicing their sight words and everything, and they
Yeah.
were doing good. And I'm embarrassed to admit this, but there was a couple. I had one little girl named Marley. I'm pretty sure her reading level was way above mine at the end of the year.
Whoa.
She was just
Yeah.
such a, she like just those good
Oh
like
yeah.
such good
Absolutely.
readers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Audible and like more.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, short stuff.
Yeah.
And I can read big books, but I mean, I'm talking like this like in first grade.
What?
Yeah, this
First
is
grade?
this is first grade.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that is impressive. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was that like, the public school system teaching SAISD?
It was a good. I
was
liked
good?
it.
Yeah?
Yes, the principal at the time, Shelley Huddleston, she put her neck on the line for me,
Mm-hmm.
and all the teachers I worked with there.
We're talking about Bonham?
But we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so but at Angel Catholic too.
Okay, yeah.
It was
Both.
like family.
Yeah.
There was no like animosity. I think maybe in first grade, towards my last year, one of the first grade teachers may have been in the office, and you know how parents call the school, we want our daughter to have so and so for the teacher.
Exactly.
She
Yeah.
overheard, but at the same time,
yeah.
it was fine. No cattiness.
Yeah.
It was very professional.
Well, I'm just curious, when parents do that, because I didn't realize they did that, I guess. Do they typically allow that, or are they like, okay, we'll give so and so? Are they like, no, we can't?
I can't confirm or deny.
Okay. I didn't really
I
know
don't
that
know.
was going on even.
Yeah,
Because there were
it's been
certain
going
teachers
on
I
since
wish I
was little.
had. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
You can always
Yeah.
have your parents be persistent in calling and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, so I would always get the behavior,
Yeah,
and I loved the little stinkers,
Yeah.
because I knew how to talk to them, and
Nice.
and I had one student that he loved cars, and he
Yeah.
loved to work on cars, but he just didn't see any reason in doing school.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I tried connecting. Well, if you're gonna have your car business, we're gonna need to know how much to charge them.
Yeah.
And then his eyes lit up, and I was like, "And you can have your own
Nice.
business." And
Yeah.
then he just like, because the year before, because he
good.
had a repeat first grade, so the year before, I think like he really did have some behavior problems, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into. All the other teachers were like, "Oh, she has him," and I didn't know. I didn't know.
So you were the teacher they gave the behavior.
I got all
kids
the
to.
bad
Yeah.
ones, and I
there was
loved
always
it.
that teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good with that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Were you able to help them with that and
I
stuff?
was.
That's
I was.
cool.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they did the work. They did the work. They put the effort in. They studied and everything. But I think one of my talents is to motivate
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
just to really reinforce confidence
Yeah.
that they can do it.
Awesome.
And to relate with them that I struggle too.
Mhm.
That it's hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not fun.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's not always going to be fun. But we got to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when things are so boring, just try to do anything you can to make it fun.
Yeah.
And so, and in first grade we did phonics,
Mm-hmm.
so it was pretty repetitive. And I had 20 I can't believe I had 22 kids. and
Really? Well, yeah,
none of them
that's-
died.
What?
No,
None of them died.
none of them died, like, or
Yeah,
got
yeah.
hurt. You know what I mean? I
Is
got them
that-
all saved.
Now isn't that typical? That's I remember in public school at SAISD, my classes were typically 20 to 26 kids, all throughout grade school. I think.
See,
Is that, I know at Wall it probably wasn't that way.
Yeah. Well, I
What was y'all's class sizes like in
Probab-
grade school?
probably like 12,
12,
13,
really?
14. Yes.
Yeah.
But at Angelo Catholic, my first year I taught there, I had 8.
Really? That's probably the way
So
it
I
should be.
really
Yeah.
didn't have a paycheck
helps.
because I would buy
Oh.
shirts and
Yeah.
Christmas presents.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. And so when did the trouble start for you then? Like if you were back in
Okay,
the area and you
so
were
I had a boyfriend from
right.
from Tech,
okay.
and then we started getting back together. But he was in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
so I was in San Angelo teaching, and I would drive to see him every weekend, not knowing like he had a rap sheet kind of like this thick.
Oh,
and,
really?
And I didn't even know like probation stuff.
Do I know this person? I wonder. We'll talk about it
Well,
later
he's
if you
from
want.
Highland Park.
Oh, okay. No.
No, okay.
Yeah. So he had like a
Is-
secret rap sheet, and he was.
but a good guy.
Right.
You know, but I wasn't familiar with any of this jail or.
Yeah, he was caught up making some bad decisions.
Well,
all that,
so
yeah.
I guess like one of the fraternity parties, he was driving. They were racing, and he was drinking, driving, and had a really, really bad wreck to
wow.
where they had to like cut his skull open, and
wow.
he had
Traumatic brain injury, maybe.
And then,
Wow.
but then even after that, that should have been the okay. God gave you this second chance.
Right. Yeah.
Continue to go down that wrong path and everything. But I loved him, and so I decided I was going to leave teaching and I was going to go there.
Oh.
But I needed to do something there.
Yeah.
And okay, so his parents were best friends with the owners of New York Life Insurance and introduced me to them. I have no idea how I studied and passed the life insurance exam.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
That's the hardest job ever.
Is it?
I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't do bad, but usually
Can
people
imagine.
want a man. They just do.
Yeah.
And it's because it's hard to sell someone something that like isn't required.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
They're
know?
never even going to know about worked for them. You know.
I mean,
technically.
but the knowledge that I did get from it, if you do have money like to invest and do annuities and all the things, like, but I mean, I did that, and then so we ended up not working out. So I was gonna move back to San Angelo, move back in with my Mimi, and I got depressed. I was still holding on to maybe doing the New York Life thing in San Angelo, and one thing with my dad, it's hard not to take it personal, but like he never, not once, came to see any of my classrooms that I worked so hard on.
Oh.
And I don't know if maybe it's something that he struggled with as a child, and he had bad memories of being in.
You never know.
But it was hard because
it had
I
to
would
be.
see other teachers, moms and dads, like helping them paint, work on things, and do everything. But not once did he do that. And then when I did the insurance thing, he wasn't a real big supporter in that either. Hey, so and here's where I'm going wrong on. I'm putting all my energy into something that is eventually going to make him proud, and that's not what I should do.
Yeah.
So, but he did say one comment. He said, "I really, really loved when you were a teacher. You know, I was so proud of you when you were a teacher."
That's cool. Yeah.
But like I couldn't tell, but
I know.
So,
Man.
but I think I might have brought it. In my 8th grade, you know how you do journals? I wrote, when I grow up, I'm going to inherit my dad's real estate business. Because he says that I'm very persuasive, so I'll do a really good job at it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of sad, but it's always been my dream to be a teacher or a realtor. Just those two things, probably because my dad and mom. But
and that's what you did.
it's what I did.
You did both.
But I crashed and burned, and so I have
That's
to live
okay.
with that.
Yeah.
And
Some people crash and burn because they need to, you know.
I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, when you work, it's like you worked so hard.
Yeah.
Just to
That's
throw
true.
it in the trash can.
That's true. You know what I think about that? I think there are multiple paths. I think there's the path that God wants us to take, that if we were to somehow listen and use our free will to listen to him and go down that path, that things would go our way and we'd be ultimately the happiest.
Yes, I agree.
But I think there's all these choices that he gave us free will, and so there are so many different paths, but I firmly believe this. I believe that even if we take a million different paths that are different from God's plan, they branch out and cause basically heartache, resistance, and suffering. And sometimes, but they'll always be used to bring us back to the right path, you know, if we eventually start hearing him. So
I wish you could send us a text message.
Oh my God, that's good.
You know, just be like,
right?
Take,
that would be
take
awesome.
the next exit.
Well, even just like something like that, you know, like some kind of little hint, which is in ways he does, but something direct would be nice, right? Sometimes I know.
And I just think that maybe I wasn't paying attention to some of the signs.
Ooh, that's it.
Missed the sign.
Me too.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Or I chose the wrong one.
Right.
And I knew.
Yep.
I knew
Ooh.
I knew I was choosing the wrong
That's
path.
good, because there are times, that you're exactly right. Like, there were times I was blatantly, and I knew I was making the wrong choice. I was turning away from God and the right thing. There are times when you're being defiant. And it never works out good,
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. And so then what happened? So you didn't really say, but when you were there, you started using harder drugs when you were with that guy?
No, not.
Oh, okay.
No, it just the regular, but because I was still teaching, so
Right. Okay.
I was on my game.
Okay.
And then it got towards the end where I was just burnt out.
Yeah.
I got burnt out, and I was ready.
That happens all
I was
the time,
ready to
doesn't it?
move to Dallas and be with him.
Yeah.
And do that. Not thinking that I should have probably just went there and been a teacher there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know why the New York Life path was the
Right.
thing. But I mean, I did it. And so then that was that. And I came back to San Angelo.
After y'all split up?
Yeah. And I met another guy.
Okay.
And he did hard drugs. And so.
I see. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. So it was back here that started happening?
Yeah, in 2020.
Okay.
In 2020.
Okay, yeah.
And see, I never would think that I would have did that, but something with who I'm dating, I kind of peer pressure, not peer pressure, but conform kind of a little bit,
yeah.
And then at the same time, but yeah, I peer pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I rather than be the stronger stand-up
Yeah,
Christian
exactly.
woman that should say
Exactly.
absolutely not, that will not be allowed.
That's right. Yeah. That's
I'm
right.
like, I'll try it, you
Yeah.
know, and then I'll try it again.
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
this is great, you know.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it may be at the first, but then I never. Okay, so I was one of those girls. I was kind, but when it came to that, I judged. Like I just like even for potheads, like I don't do drugs. Ew.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
my dad conditioned that in me big time.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
you know, but we were alcohol. I'm a family of alcoholics,
Yeah.
so the parties were at our lake house.
Right. Yeah.
And one thing I admire, like he said, you know, I know you're going to be drinking, I know you're going to be partying. I'd rather you be here at the house where I can keep an eye on you.
Yeah, that is
and
good.
that probably saved my life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
Broke the hot tub a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's when we really bonded too.
Really?
Yeah, we were really close. And where are we at now? So 2020, that.
So how did it start spiraling out of control, really? Like when did it become apparent, like, you know, because how it works usually.
After the San Angelo Live thing.
Well, that was when it became but you don't think there was a time where, because here's how it progresses, and we talked about this. So it's like, you know, you're using and it's your secret, right? It's you keep it close, your secret. You have the secret life, basically. And maybe nobody knows about, or maybe just one person. For me, most of the time, it was nobody could know about it.
Isolated.
And then the second phase is usually you're doing that, and people close to you can start to tell, but you still think you're hiding it. And you're managing it. And then next comes the professional world, people not so close to you. Then they start to tell, and there's little slips. Maybe you get arrested or something. And then some people, you know, they find rock bottom different ways, and not everybody. Here's the thing. Most people, as you know, don't get publicly blasted all over a media outlet and get called horrible names and made to feel like you're the worst piece of crap on earth by other people. Like, that doesn't happen usually normally, like it did to you and I. So, and as you know, and so for you, do you think there was phases like that, or it was just like boom?
So, and I didn't want to like bring the gossip part of it, but women can be very vindictive.
Absolutely.
And my dad's current wife, who is a past drug dealer, he didn't know, but she is. and a lot of times if you spot it, you got it, right?
Mm.
So she teamed up with a girl that was my friend, and it was almost like entertainment for them, to get in my dad's head and make him think, oh, she just sits at home and does drugs all day. She doesn't do. I was mowing the yard. I was doing things.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know how it goes. And
Yeah.
I was still doing things, but I wasn't getting out there and getting a job
Exactly. Yeah.
like he wanted,
Yeah.
like I should have been
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah.
I was digging myself a deeper hole.
Oh, that's good. That's
I
right.
was-
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
kept digging, and I almost, in a way, put myself in prison in my house before I had gone to Safe P prison.
Right, because what happened exactly? What was your first run-in with the law then?
The check deal.
Okay, so talk about that a little bit. So it was basically a charge of like forgery or
Yeah, so
okay, yeah.
forgery of financial instrument,
Okay.
abuse on the elderly because
They had just turned 75, right?
65.
65, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it is one of those things. It sounds so bad until you look into what's actually going on. But what's the circumstances? Just, you don't have to really get into it if you don't want. But of the check, like, do you use the check and you weren't supposed to, basically, or what was it? Exactly?
So, okay, a lot of things that are wrong with our generations now is instant gratification or
Yeah.
entitlement to
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, so I had done a lot of work for him, and he wanted to move to another location, like out of town. I got with that realtor, found him the house, done deal, and then last minute, all of a sudden, he just didn't have the money. Like, so it was
that's
almost he
horrible.
was wasting my time.
Right. Yeah.
And so then that fell through. But he still wanted to sell his house. He had told me that he had just lost his wife about 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago. And so, like, all her clothes were still in the closet. And I've been through this, so I had compassion.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through with my mom.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to, a lot of times with men, they don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I signed up. I said, I'm expensive. I'm going to be about $50 an hour, and I'm making invoices, and I did furniture that he marked for me that he didn't want anymore. Put it on Marketplace.
Wow. Yeah.
I got the clothes gone, and was making sales too
Okay, yeah.
for him. But then also painted. I used my own money for paint. I had well, they were my dad's in his storage, but blinds, and so I would calculate and add it all up, and it added up to the check. But okay, so you know how you can take like a picture of the check and do it mobile way?
And deposit it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I did it, and then I didn't think it went through.
Okay.
So I did another one, and then they both went through at the same time. So it was like,
Same amount.
yeah,
Okay.
2,500.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it was, and then his daughters were like, absolutely not. You know, she did not do that
Right.
much work. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. But
So let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So basically, bottom line is that you were just kind of paying yourself what you thought you were worth, like what you thought your work was worth, without his approval, in a sense.
all I needed to do was talk to him.
Exactly. That's
and
right.
He was out of
Yeah.
town, and his phone was out
Yeah.
of service.
Yeah.
And I
Well, so it's
I
good to
jumped the
clear
gun.
that up.
I
you
jumped
know?
the gun.
Yeah. We make mistakes like that, especially when we're not thinking clearly, and we make mistakes like that. We do. And so then what happened? His daughters were angry, and so then they made the charge or filed the police
Yeah,
report.
and apparently, like, they're the type of people that, like, they've been in and out of jail, all of them. Like he had told me one time his daughter acted up and to teach her lesson, he took her to jail. Like, my dad never would do that.
Yeah.
And but, like, that's how they were.
Yeah.
And I think they also saw dollar signs like this, that like, oh, we can nail her, and then we can really sue her because she's probably got tons of money.
Oh.
She's Scott Allison's daughter.
Okay.
I had no money.
Yeah.
My dad's
Right.
not dumb.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got taken off the carriage account because I was buying too many Christmas presents for people.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything.
Right.
But that's what they thought. So like on top of that, they tried suing me. for more.
Dang, yeah.
The money that was the checks from Wells Fargo was rejected and back in his account. And yet I'm still having to pay
really?
restitution of that
I didn't know
amount.
that. I didn't know you still had to pay if they got the money back.
I know.
That's very interesting. I did not know. I just didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow. So we're talking $5,000, right?
7.
7.
Ended up to be 7.
And so $7,000. So and they sued. Did they actually file a lawsuit or no?
It didn't go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Man, and so that happened in
And he was wanting me to move with him.
who?
My client guy. So and I knew better, but I was so hungry to make the sale.
Yeah.
And make my dad proud and get the commission money and work. I just kind of ignored the signs.
Okay.
But I should have stepped away. I should have kept my realtor hat on. Did the realtor job.
Oh, so you're saying you crossed the line, a professional and personal, and you kind of were in a relationship with him, or like a fling with him?
No.
Okay, no, sorry, I
No,
misunderstood.
but I think that's what he wanted.
See, what do you mean? He wanted you to move with him?
I think that's what he wanted with me.
Right.
And then because it didn't work out, it made it easier to call the cops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Like,
yeah. So at that point, was that public? Was there? I mean, I know it was public, but was there an article written about you or anything about that?
No.
That's right. So then, what happened next?
the cops picked me up.
And you had to go.
I went to jail, and at that time, my dad helped me and paid where he bonded.
Yeah.
And so I think I maybe stayed a night.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
that happened. And then I got on probation.
Okay.
And this is where I went.
Okay, yeah, this
hit
is
rock
where-
bottom.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is where I just thought, I've messed everything up so bad
Yeah.
anyways. I'm just gonna keep doing drugs and
Yeah.
and not take probation serious.
So you said F it. You were like, you know what? I've already screwed up. Screw it. Let's, I'm just going to keep going down this road.
Like I would smoke before I would go to take a test.
So yeah, you weren't even, you didn't even care. You weren't even trying. So, but I'm curious, did you, when that was happening, did you think, or did you know, like, ultimately this is going to end very badly? Or,
Oh yes.
Okay, so you knew, yeah.
I knew.
Yeah,
I knew. Like if
So you were just in that bad
when I would go to
place.
smoke, and I would out loud tell myself, "This is not gonna end good."
Really?
Out loud, I said it, and
Really?
and
That's
so-
fascinating.
yeah, and I was just kicking myself because knowing that, like, that makes that it's like makes you. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
But it's almost like playing with fire.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
couldn't help but play with fire. The devil had a hold of me.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And I had
exactly.
no control.
Yeah.
And he said, just keep pushing it. Just
Exactly.
keep doing it. Just
yeah.
why not?
It's like your brain had been hijacked, and it had been
Yep.
whenever you're using that
It was,
stuff.
I was in my life was unmanageable.
Yeah.
And then my dad he took away my car to pay for the lawyer bills and all the other bills. But
So you didn't have your own car?
I didn't have my own
Where
car.
were you staying at this time?
I had my own house.
Okay,
He bought
yeah.
me a house.
Yeah.
But then after that, okay, so I got an MTR where you
What happened for the motion to revoke your probation? Yeah.
I got 3 slaps on the wrist. So online, I've got all these mug shots.
Right.
And what it looks like on there. If it was me, just an outside person reading those, I would think, what an idiot. She keeps making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Because it says the charge
Exactly.
from the first one.
Right.
Even though 2 of them were dismissed, and I'm on defer.
But it keeps getting posted, your mugshot, yeah.
Yeah, because it was MTR. And so then finally, my dad's like, I'm not gonna bail you out, and the judge decided to do the safe P.
So the MTR was for the failed drug tests?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And so he said safe P is a rehabilitation program technically.
It's
But
prison.
tell people who don't know what safe P is really like. It's essentially it's prison before you go to real prison if you have a drug charge, but it's not rehab. It's worse than actual prison, they say. So explain your experience there a little bit.
So and what's sad is the return rate is really high.
Yeah, the
really
recidivism,
high.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but any program, it works it if you work it.
It's true. That's
If
exactly
you,
right.
If you get into it
That's
and
exactly
you take
right.
it serious, then you can do it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, there were some women there that said, "I'm a drug dealer and I'm going to be a drug dealer when I get
Wow,
out of here."
yeah.
There were other women that were there taking in the heat for their man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I would say
Wow.
80% of the ladies there were drug dealers.
Okay.
And let's see, 19% were assault with a deadly weapon.
Dang.
One lady burned someone's house down. Another one ran over someone with their car. Another one shot someone in the knee.
But they had drug charges too. That's why they were at
They were on
SAP.
drugs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But and then there's like the 1%, the fraud, me.
Okay. Yeah.
Me. But and so my counselor even kind of chuckled, and which was odd because he used to sell carpet here in San Angelo.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was such a small world.
That's crazy.
But I met some really interesting women, and one thing. Okay, so I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning, breakfast at 4, and then be at work at 5. I worked in the laundry, and it was work. So 5 to 11 or lunch, and then 11, and then we would have where you sit in a chair, and for 4 hours, 4 different counselors would come, and some of them were into it.
Yeah.
Some of them just read off like, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Marijuana causes this,
Right, yeah.
like that. But then there was others that you could really relate. Like, she had been to prison for 5 years, and she'd been in our shoes, and and so there was stories that they would tell us, and things that I learned. I learned a lot of things about myself. Issues I had thinking. They're called thinking errors. One of mine was victim stance.
Okay. All right.
I would feel sorry for myself and think,
Yeah.
I'm such a victim. This isn't happening to anyone else,
Right. Yeah.
instead of pulling my bootstraps up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, and like hearing them discuss those, I was like, oh, that's me. Oh, no, that's me.
Yep.
Oh, but
That's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I learned a lot, but I really learned how to be quiet. I
That's what you
listened.
said.
I
That's the
did.
first time you really learned how to truly listen.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yes. My grandpa always said, "God bless you with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason."
That's good. Yeah.
I still kept talking, but
Yeah.
but at SAP, ladies would stand up and tell their stories. And one girl was there; she was 20 years old, and like she had been sex trafficked. Another couple ladies had been in and out of foster care, and some others were going through CPS cases trying to get
Yeah.
their kids back. And so I felt that I really was blessed compared, but you
Exactly,
don't want to
yeah.
compare because my issues still are bad too. Did we already talk about my thing?
What?
The thing
The what?
that when I got to my low point, we already talked about that.
I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, but I
Right.
want to say something though. It is interesting about victim stance or victimhood. Is that one of the biggest things I ever learned? And it's not like I ever really truly was like, oh, I'm the victim, poor me. But I had some of that for sure when I was younger. And throughout the years, one of the things I learned about that was that if you don't ever learn how to fully 1,000% take responsibility
Yes.
for, I mean, literally everything. Like I'm talking about, there's this guy who said, he said, you're driving down the road, you're minding your own business, you're 100% sober, somebody, drunk driver, boom, hits you. How, instead of thinking, man, this guy just hit me, you did nothing wrong.
Right.
How could I even figure out what responsibility I held in that? But most people shut that down completely. They don't even think about, because they're truly not responsible, but they never have the opportunity to actually push themselves there and even open up the possibility of what would happen if I did that, though. Made everything, I was responsible for it all. But then what happens is you start to realize when you practice that is that you literally have control of more things, though. Because when you're a victim,
And
you have control of
sometimes-
nothing.
and
Everything's
sometimes-
happening to
Sometimes
me.
you are the victim. Sometimes you can be the victim, but it just
I think so, too,
it's
but the
taking
idea
it
is
to a
that-
certain level.
Yeah, the idea is even opening up those kind of ideas of being able to think that way, to challenge yourself to think that way. No one does that, really.
And that's what we get on my dad's nerves.
Oh, yeah?
Through and through.
I could see that. I bet.
Like not taking responsibility.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
'cause, like,
man.
he could see it, and one thing that if I could go back in time,
Mm-hmm.
it would be just simple as this: listen to my dad,
Right?
because he's been through it all.
Yeah.
Like he's not just telling me this just to
That's right.
blow smoke.
Yeah.
If he's wasting the time, or taking the
Right.
time to tell me, don't do this.
Yeah.
Because I already went down that road. It's
Yeah.
a dead end. It'll
Exactly.
hurt. It'll hurt.
Yeah.
You know.
It's weird when I was having this conversation the other day, actually, when someone gives us advice, even if it's our parents, it's when they're giving us this advice, sometimes what we don't realize is that they're coming from a place of real experience with
Yes.
that advice that has affected their lives to a point where it's a fundamental thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just hearing it as advice. So it goes through one thing and out the other. So unless we experience it and it becomes a part of our identity and we did it and it's part of us and our life experience, we can't really hear it and use it, you know? So I wish there was a way around that,
And
though.
I also would think, but I know a different way. I think I can
That's-
do it.
well, that's
I think
right,
I can
yeah.
I think I can go a little bit to the left.
Well,
and
that's
do
it.
it better
The
than
mentality
the way
we
you did.
have, yeah.
Yes, rather than listen.
Yeah.
And to my dad's offense, or in his offense, he tried. He did the best he could.
Yeah.
It's not his fault
Yeah.
that I made the wrong
Right,
choice.
exactly,
You know,
yeah.
it wasn't his fault.
Exactly,
It was going to happen. It was going to
Totally.
happen.
Yeah. So what do you think your rock bottom was? What took you to the very bottom? I mean,
Just
What happened?
my family disowning me,
That-
not having any job to do.
at what point did that happen?
Just
though?
depending on the drugs.
When did your family disown you? Sort of like
When I went
for
to
whatever-
jail.
Really? Wow.
And
I can't
the
imagine
girl I
that.
was telling you about that was my friend, became
Yeah.
friends with the wife.
Uh-huh.
They manipulated him into thinking like Corporal, he's never been like this.
Right.
Like, it's not his character.
Oh, I
He's
see.
been manipulated big time. I don't know.
That was the only way left
like,
was corporal.
like to take my car away. Well, how am I supposed to get around? So I ended up coming across this one guy who I thought was my friend. He said, "You take me places." Turns out he was a Looney Tune. I mean, I was just like, so
Yeah.
when you're in a low place, it is a very good idea. That's why they say don't date when you're going through recovery.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you literally attract Looney Tunes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
yeah,
like
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gullible. Like I'll believe it
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Like, oh really? Oh really?
Yeah.
And then turn around and it's just all lies.
Yeah.
I'm not innocent, but I'm definitely not like that.
Yeah.
Like I think honesty is the best policy.
Right. Yeah.
I try to be the best
Yeah.
I can, but I mean they were bad. They were.
You know, one thing that killed me about the drug world is this is hilarious, and it's funny because you said something earlier that I related to, which was, you know, I would hear all these crazy stories about, you know, these women that were having these CPS cases who their parents beat them, like, and you and I came from a childhood and a background where we didn't have that.
Yeah.
And what we tend to do is downplay our own
Yes.
story. We're like, oh
Yeah.
man, my, and I did this all the time when I would walk into NA meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I would hear these stories and be like, man, I didn't go through anything close to what
Yeah.
they. My story is nowhere near. I'm not gonna even talk about. And what happens is we're depriving somebody else an opportunity to hear our story that comes from a very similar position, just like you and I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That came from a good family, but still this happened to them because it can happen to anyone.
Doesn't discriminate.
Right. So if we're not putting it out there, brave enough, courageous enough to put our story out there, we don't give that person a chance. So it's equally as important, you know. And I still have trouble with that, though. I still think, oh, you know, this is nowhere near as bad as so and so stuff or whatever. And
addiction.
it's just-
Addiction is just a. It's a mind blowing.
it really is. It really hijacks
and,
your mind.
And what I didn't want to accept, whenever I did learn this, was that it's a brain disease and
Exactly.
and there's no cure. Now I'm thinking, well, everything in my head was thinking, well, I'm not going to have brain disease.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to have
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the rest of my life. I'm not going to be one of those
Right.
forever. But,
Yeah, I think here's something cool we talked about, is that I do that our brains, mine and yours, what we share is our brains are wired to be obsessive and compulsive.
Yeah.
And there were paths you and I could have taken where we would have never touched a drug in our lives. And we would have been obsessive and compulsive about different things. Maybe if we'd been around the right people the entire time, the shopping, the working out, whatever it is, that would have never come into our story, our reality. But we allow those things with the people we hang out with,
Yep.
the decisions we make, we allow them to come into our story and reality. And then we do it once or twice because we don't have firm boundaries. And that, I think, comes from childhood and stuff. And so then it becomes a part of our reality and something we can be obsessed and compulsive about. But here's the thing I don't believe, and you and I kind of share this. And this is nothing against anybody who uses this as part of how they talk about their recovery or how they go about their recovery, but claiming, that you're an addict. Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm an addict. I think it's much more constructive, and there are many more benefits of saying either, like we talked about, I'm a recovered addict, or not even using the word at all.
Right.
Or just start to focus on something way different and identify myself with something completely different, but still be proactive about my recovery.
Like I was telling you, we are a new creation of God.
I love that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like what the past is the past.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
we're a new creation. We're like, that's not who we are
Exactly.
anymore.
Yeah.
But no, on the friend thing. Okay, so growing up, I had this group of girlfriends and then this group of girlfriends.
Okay.
This group of girlfriends I would go to church with all the time. This group of girlfriends would want to go drinking.
Yep.
Okay. Which ones do you think were my true friends?
The grill, but you wanted to hang out with the other ones more.
Because I yearned for
We're
that
attracted to the darkness, too.
Well, and
it's
I wanted
weird.
the acceptance when they never were my friends.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you touched on something important there.
I wanted to be accepted, and it killed me, like, rejection is a thing.
I see.
And
it was much easier to be accepted by them than the church friends and the ones who were making the right decisions.
Well, I knew they loved me, and I took them for granted. And if I could go back, I would do it all over.
But are you saying you hung out with the other group because it was easier to be accepted with them?
No, because I was almost addicted to wanting them to like me.
Oh, you yearned for their approval and so interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Whenever they were talking behind my back.
Right, exactly.
And used me probably because I had the beer or something.
Yeah. Wow. And then so you said, this is something I never directly dealt with, but you really hit your rock bottom once the rug was pulled out from under you. You no longer had support from your family, a support system for anybody.
My dad
that you only relied on the drugs, you said. So tell us about that, the darkest time, really.
It was, drugs were the medicine, because what was the issue? The root issue was shame, guilt.
Yeah.
Shame, guilt, humiliation, embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
All of those feelings were so strong that the drug would numb the pain.
Yeah.
And make me just not think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I wasn't dealing with it until it got to a point where it took over. Like, if you were out of stuff, you'd need to get more stuff.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Rather than just go to the root.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the time, I was just so unmanageable to honest, I didn't want to. I liked not having to deal with the pain. And so that's why the Safe P, go in there, saved my life.
Yeah.
Even though it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
We had to walk with our hands behind our back. And
I hear there are crazy little rules and stuff.
Oh, there's so many rules.
Yeah.
But it was good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just never want to go back there. There were several ladies that, they were on relapse. And I hope it wasn't on my facial expression, but I'm just like, what? Like, how could you possibly come back here ever?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
And
so what
probation
happened?
does not play around.
No, I know. They certainly don't. So what happened after that, after Safe SAP. You went to outpatient treatment, right? Or no? Well,
Okay,
technically
so
it's
and I
safe.
really think that the Clover House in Odessa, I don't know what government person is in charge, who's on the board, but they need to revamp that place because it's supposed to be where you go there for 2 months and they transition you into like getting a job and doing this and that, but the just the logistics of it is okay. If you're going to be somewhere for 60 days and you're an employer, by the time you get them trained, and then the proximity to walk to the place from the Clover House, there's not that many places. Then there's the past experiences of Clover House girls burning bridges, and so we would just literally have to be stuck in this room and do individual study, or it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Safe P was better than that.
Wow. So how long were you there?
60 days.
Wow. And then what was the next step? You got to come back to.
I couldn't get. I had the worst fear come true. Cause see, my dad used to make me these. He would get a napkin and he would make a rose out of it. And so my last day at Safe P, I was in the laundry and there was some pants they were throwing at me, and one of those little roses fell out of the pants and landed on my foot. So I was like, okay, this is a sign from God. I know my dad's gonna be proud of me.
Yeah.
He can't wait I can't wait to talk to him. I just got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And talk to him. And that wasn't the case. And so like whenever I got to the halfway house, I was able to call him. It was like, still, I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's something you have to learn sometimes is like, you think it's going to be on your time. Like, you're like, I'm ready now. And they're just not, you know?
Yeah, and I've got to accept
we have to, exactly where they're at. But that had to be devastating.
It was so devastating.
Yeah.
And that the fact that, like, I don't know anyone's numbers. So I can get on Facebook or something and, like, reach out to people. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. And so there's a place called Sarah's House. And so it was okay. I didn't love it. But it's a really, it's a good transition. But then I have a really good friend named John Sutton. He used to be a lawyer judge. I don't even know him.
Yeah.
And he's the one that basically saved my life and has been helping me get back on my feet and everything and trying to get things going. And my uncle and my aunt have been calling people because it's about who you know, and if they know, okay, she's got a background, but she really needs this chance.
Yeah.
She'll prove herself.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I scrub toilets.
Right.
But I'm not too good for anything.
Exactly. That's great. I love that mentality. That's cool. Yeah.
And
I like
and
that.
for me, being around people and having a routine is what keeps me out of trouble.
Exactly. Oh gosh.
And not
we
depressed.
share that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because once I get depressed or like I don't have anything to do and I go down that rabbit hole, it's
exactly
game on after that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're trying to, you're looking for employment. You got a place to stay. You're back in Angelo. You know that you got to earn it back, right?
My dad did bring my car back yesterday,
Really?
the day before.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I gave him a big hug, and he said it's just gonna take a little time.
Yeah.
But it was so good to get to give him a hug.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah. So where are you at now with everything?
I'm honestly, like, I feel like I've been reborn because of the incident.
Yeah.
That was a huge second chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not even like a tiny one.
Exactly.
Like imagining if I was on dialysis and should I go ahead and tell everybody?
It's up. It's totally up to you.
It made me do awareness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everybody, y'all are gonna judge me, but
no one's gonna. I mean, people are gonna judge.
They are.
But
I would judge me.
there are people out there that are their lives might be saved.
I didn't think. It built up. I bottled it like like the rejection, the humiliation, everything. I bottled it, and went through everything, and then like getting out and it not being how I thought my dad would have my house all ready to go and being like, you did it, way to go, but he rented it out to someone else, and so it was just letdown after letdown.
Yeah.
And then the thoughts in my head would be, you're not going to get married, all your friends have kids, just comparing, and it was the devil just taunting taunting. And then the thought of, I don't have a purpose, and it might be just easier if I wasn't here. And that sounds so selfish. I'm a Christian, and I know that is not the answer. Ever, 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 ever.
Yeah.
It is not up to us. It's God's
That's
plan.
exactly right. Yeah.
And I know that.
Yeah.
But something took over, and I had decided to go buy antifreeze and take antifreeze and drink it. And then I went back to the house, and John noticed I was acting kind of incoherent, whatnot, and he finally realized, he's like, he needs to call the ambulance.
Yeah.
And he said,
was it a lot of it? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so that's, I mean,
it was poison.
It's just, I mean, I understand where you were at, but here's like the thing is, like, people need to realize, I think, right now, if you take the difference of somebody, no matter how you try to do this, if you ever do, the way you go about it, there are differences, because pulling a trigger versus gulp after gulp after gulp. So pulling a trigger happens at a microsecond, right? A decision that's made in a microsecond can't be taken back. But when you're making the decision, every time you swallow more of it, that's how dark and low your life was. You're recommitting to dying every time you drink it.
I was at the FUCK it.
Yeah, that's right. Like, that's what people need to realize, is that forget there's no take back of that microsecond. This is, I'm committing again and again and again. My life is, I'm never going to get it back. I'm done,
Yeah,
that's how dark it was for you.
I threw in the towel, and
that's right.
Oh my gosh, no one likes a quitter. But I did, and so the ambulance came.
Thank God he realized, right, that you...
He saved my life.
Something was right. Yeah.
He saved my life, because so it had not been like a couple hours that I didn't get there.
Wow.
So when I got there, I was incoherent, and the doctors they didn't know, but they hurried and hooked up me to the machines and did the dialysis. I had to go through the dialysis like my mom did, and it was almost a thing like, she had to do this 3 times a week. It was so painful. It was so uncomfortable. It was horrible. They came in every other second. The nurses, though, phenomenal. Phenomenal. But like poking and prying and
trying to figure out what it was.
Well, no, like just like doing like
just IVs
needles
and stuff.
And all the IVs, and they figured out what it was. They called in the antidote to the
This is so crazy right here.
They called the antidote to the pharmacy.
Right.
They were out.
They were out of the antidote for the drinking a poison like that.
For the reversal.
Right.
And so they're on pins and needles. And this young doctor, he has the last name that I can't pronounce, but he had to have been like 22. I mean, young.
Yeah.
And,
is he an Indian guy?
He has dark hair.
Okay. I wonder, because there was a guy, Shannon, who helped whenever I was...
He's lighter skinned. I don't know.
But explain what happened here.
So this doctor decided he was going to get on the phone with his buddies at this hospital, this hospital. Basically, he was the chef that went into the kitchen, didn't have the right ingredients, and invented with medicines.
Right. That
antidote.
Yeah.
And did that, and so they had already called in hospice. It was that bad. Yeah. And
so they pretty much considered you weren't going to recover.
They wasn't going to recover. But then he did that medicine, and then all of a sudden I started coming to, and I came back, and not only did I not die, they said it's a miracle that I don't have the permanent. I would be like my mom on dialysis.
Right.
My
you
life
should have been on dialysis, right?
Can you imagine being on dialysis and be like, "Yep, did this to myself."
Oh man, yeah. It is a miracle.
A miracle.
You're
And so-
back to full functioning health.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, okay, God, I get you. I
Yeah.
have a purpose.
That's right.
I'm gonna do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So like we talked about, like sometimes it's through the pain that our purpose is revealed, you know, and no matter how low you get, like there's always a way to climb back.
Yeah. I never thought that you never think you'll do something until you do it.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Good point.
But ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point. And so we're
Ever again though.
right.
Ugh.
Yeah. No,
Like
but,
ever.
but it's important for people to know that, because I think we talked about this. It's important for people to know that you might grow up like we did, thinking there is no possible way I would ever do anything like that, right? Ever. You never had the thoughts, nothing. And then something like this happens, and you're able to get to a point dark enough that you made the decision. So everyone needs to know that. It doesn't matter who you are, how great your life is. Like, it can happen. It did.
Mental health.
It's not like you grew up with issues where you were suicidal and stuff. Like, it happened.
Ever.
It's crazy, you know?
Ever.
Yeah.
And so.
So what? Yeah. So tell us about.
After I got out of the ICU,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "We're gonna send you to Rivercrest," and I wasn't too happy. I was like, "Oh,"
Mm-hmm.
but and the nurse was like, "It's gonna be what you make of
It's
it."
just, it's got a stigma, but you said it was great.
It was great.
It's awesome to hear.
It was great.
It's awesome.
I met. I think she's the mascot for like Sonora.
Yeah.
Broncos, like
Okay.
not the real mascot, but like she's at every game.
Yeah.
And she's kind of special, and made good friends with her. And then there was this guy that showed up there, and this gay guy that I guess he and his boyfriend and we just hit it off.
Yeah.
And a real nice guy, but he wrote this because I got there on Valentine's Day.
Oh, show
and
the camera this one right here.
he wrote he colored this
Yeah.
with the message on
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It says, Fallon, if a stranger like me can look to you for strength and comfort in their weakest times, know you are needed, know you have a power to help others, know you have helped me, Conrad.
Wow.
That's pretty deep, and
That is
like
really cool.
I was like, wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just there to hear a story and talk
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. That really impacted you, I can tell.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what happened after, what inspired you to do kind of what you did that you said was kind of a coping mechanism, but as we talked, you and
the
I
book.
both feel that it's
I bring
bigger
the
than
book?
just a coping mechanism. Did you not bring it?
Oh no.
Oh no, it's okay. We can put it up digitally while we're talking right now.
Okay.
I'll insert it digitally.
Okay, but I have to kind of do a background story on it. It wasn't
Okay.
just like, I'm going to write a children's book,
Yeah.
and that's going to be so great.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the whole process, because I wasn't bullied. Like, I wasn't bullied
Yeah,
in school. I was
right.
positive and everything. Maybe I was a little. No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But so okay, the guy I dated, his dad, who had also been to prison before, well-known family,
Yeah.
doctors, and went to high school with my mom. Used to drive like his Corvette up my grandparents' driveway,
Really?
and they were
Yeah.
just so proud that Dr. So-and-so's
Yeah.
son left truck marks
Yeah.
in the yard. And but every time that my San Angelo or like the mug shots would come out, he would repost them on his Facebook and say mean comments, and I would hear it.
Why?
Like, that's a bully.
What a
Like,
weirdo.
It's a bully, and it's
Yeah.
our dad's age, and so
It's
then
weird,
it would
yeah.
get to my dad, and embarrass my dad.
That's so.
Like,
oh,
but
God.
who does that?
That's the stupidest.
like,
just
like she needs to go to prison. Da, 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 like, get
Really?
a life.
Yeah.
Get a life.
No joke, yeah.
You were charged
You're just
for
rooting for someoone's downfall.
Yeah,
like,
he was
what
embezzled.
is wrong
he
with
embezzled, what is this stuff like for care, like wheelchair things, like people that
you? Yeah,
sell
walkers.
that stuff.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's like a store thing. Anyways, like
Yeah.
lots of all of that, and I think it's the biggest thing that people do is project
Oh, well, you hit it on the head.
They
I was just
project.
going to say that. I said that's why I was going to say that. That's why they do that.
They
The
project.
hatefulness becomes like holding up a mirror in front of themselves and seeing either the insecurity they have, the thing that they've done, whatever they're lacking, they see it in you. And and they're like,
And it
"Oh,
feels
you're going to
good.
come down. I'm going to make sure you come down."
Yeah,
And
because they
it's
had
like-
it done to him.
It's so embarrassing for them, though. It's like, do you not see you're just openly putting all your little issues of your insecurities out there? Like, I would
And
be
you're an
so
adult,
embarrassed if
and
I
you're
were
an
you.
adult.
Yeah, like that is embarrassing. Like,
Yes,
weirdo.
on
like,
Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I just laugh at them. I'm like,
Yeah.
who does that? Like,
Yeah.
you just have a whole. It's crazy. It's hilarious. They don't realize it themselves, though.
It was
But
so Fannie Mae is a little girl who starts school.
Fannie Mae. I love that.
Fannie Mae, yeah, and I had a little kitty cat named Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac is a real estate.
Nice,
It's a
yeah.
real estate thing.
Okay.
But so she started school, and there's these kids, and they pick on her, whatever. And instead of like replying with anger or something rude or lowering to their level, she just always replies with "just talk nice."
Yeah. Which
Okay,
is from.
I got. Okay,
Explain this,
yes,
yeah,
I got, okay.
this is cool.
So my mom used to always say, I'm sure a lot of moms used to say this, but if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything
And
at
you
all.
said that earlier about your mom.
Yes.
You said, in a sense, you said the golden rule. Basically, she always taught you that.
Yeah. Put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you said.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that one. But then she also said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yes.
And as an ADHD kid, I'm
golden
like,
rule.
that's kind of a long sentence. How can I
Yeah.
shorten it to 3 words? Just
Just
talk
talk
nice.
nice.
Like
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so you don't get lost. Anyway, so through the book, that's what she does, and the bully in the book's name's Blake W.
Yeah.
That was my way. That's how I coped because
Sure.
I just
The person
I
that was bullying you,
I was
basically.
not going to. I didn't do it one time. I did not go on Facebook and try to tell my story.
This is
I did-
such a win.
I didn't.
You didn't go. You
lower
poke
to
back.
that
You didn't
level.
lower to the standards.
No, I just took it.
Those are win after win after win, showing your class why you know what I'm saying, you rose above it. You didn't lower yourself back down. And it's like, God, how are you not so embarrassed that you're rooting for my downfall? And I'm just hoping good things for you in your life.
Yeah, I'm just making.
Yeah.
I'm just did a children's
Or ignoring
book.
you completely. Like, it just doesn't faze me. I'll just continue to talk nice. Like,
Yeah,
okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still going to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like, I guess it made him feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess so. So the book is, here's what I love, is that the book is for children, but it's your story in a sense wrapped up in a beautiful children's story. And it's illustrated by you, written by you,
Yeah.
and self-published.
When I say illustrated, it took time
Really?
because I didn't like do like the
Yeah.
artwork myself, but like you have to go like I designed like all the characters like shoes and their
Yeah.
purses and the the background and
Uh-huh.
it takes time.
Yeah.
And then
Let's
you gotta,
pause for just a second. Hey, do we need to take a quick break to let them cool down, and then we'll finish it up real quick?
If you want to take a break, you can, but I'm keeping them cool.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're getting close here because, yeah, okay. We'll keep it going then. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll get it done. We got this. So,
Yeah.
so you, go ahead. Where you picked up? So
So-
you had to draw all the little every detail like that you're talking about?
So it's like have you heard of Canva?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great
so,
app. Yeah.
So there's Canva and then there's a couple others,
Mhm.
and I just get ideas like to create characters.
Yeah, cool.
The harder part was not on this book, but like because I had, and I lost my account to it. But so my plan is, because I did teach phonics,
Mhm.
I want to do a series that is a book
Ooh,
that goes with
yeah.
every phonics lesson. And has a social emotional lesson with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful. You got to
Yeah,
do that.
I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
have said it before I
And
do
start
it.
a YouTube channel. Start putting that
I'll
content
try
out
to,
there,
yeah.
you know?
So I was gonna do a YouTube channel after I have content.
No,
Like,
yeah. That's what
you
I'm
know
saying.
I
I'll
mean?
help you in any way.
And then coloring books are a huge.
They are
thing.
huge. That's why I wanted you to. I'm going to put the book in here digitally, guys. I'm going to show you some stuff. But the thing I love the most, and you gave to me. Well, first of all, there's a coloring book in the back. What
That
were you gonna say?
one was more of like.
No, that one's so cool though too,
day-to-day.
and that was a personal thing. But just the coloring book itself is in the back of the book for your kids, which I think is so cool.
And I added journal pages.
Yeah, that's neat.
I think I kind of went a little bit overboard on it.
It's pretty cool,
I got
though,
a little
yeah.
overboard, but
Yeah.
after the end of it, it says like, if there's anything that someone's says nice to you, or you say nice to them, write it down.
cool.
And I did age group it from 3 to like 10, I think. So 3-year-old, of course, it's going to be too hard for them
Right,
to do that.
yeah.
But like a memory for a mom,
mom or dad,
to remember,
yeah.
to write that, and then later on when the child's older, they can see I said that,
Oh,
or they
that's
said
beautiful.
that, and then they can know that they were such a kind person.
That's my favorite idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
hear you say that last time
Yeah.
when we talked privately.
Yeah.
I love that. That's cool. And so is your intention to sell this book? I mean, what are you trying to do with it?
Yeah, it's for sale.
Cool. So where
on
can people
Amazon.
buy it? Amazon? Nice. Yeah. So I'm going to put the link, guys, so you can purchase this. Is it possible for people to purchase this directly through you or a website, or right now just through Amazon?
So I'm in the learning research,
okay.
watching
Yeah.
YouTube,
Absolutely.
teaching myself how to do everything.
Yeah.
And there's different routes. Everyone's like, why don't you get a publisher? But I was just thinking, like, why have a middleman?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, I need to do more research on, like, how much does Amazon take out?
Right,
of
yeah.
it? And I'm really doing it for the passion, but at the same time, I would like to make some money.
Absolutely.
You know?
Of course, yeah.
And get it out there.
Of course. Yes.
Oh, and then the coloring books, I was going to do alternative cuss words.
So let's talk about this. Because
Yeah.
one of them that you said that
gotta
kind
do
of cracked me up is one I've said my whole life, which is son of a biscuit.
Son of a
Yeah.
biscuit, or cheese and rice, and,
Yeah.
and it'll be food theme
Yeah.
coloring book.
Yeah.
And then
Alternative curse words. That's so great.
yeah. Because coloring books were huge.
It's a big deal.
in prison, and they were.
Oh, I bet they were, right.
so big, and then
People,
yes.
love to do
And-
that kind of thing.
And who was it? I was at probation. A lady was walking by and she looked at my book, and I told her I was going to do coloring books. She goes, right when you get those coloring books, let me know. I want to order.
Awesome. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? The nurse, I had an appointment. Her name was Nurse Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I told her my story, and she's like, you know who you need to contact?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
cool. Yeah.
So I can't wait to go out to my next appointment and be like, I contacted him.
I know.
I did it.
I was on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send her the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she watches all
I
of them.
love it. I love it. Yeah.
And my the doctor, Dr. Pizzola, has a 3-year-old little girl. Did I tell
Yeah.
you this story?
No, you didn't tell me this.
So, and he also is in the Army. He's like
Okay.
one of those guys. I'm
Nice.
like, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But I said, I did a book, and he was like, what's it called? He whipped out his phone, like all nonchalantly, whipped out his phone. He's
Yeah.
like, it'll be here Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It was
yeah.
so sweet.
We're
It
gonna
was so
get
sweet.
get some sales going for you.
Yeah,
Because I
that'd be
love
cool.
this. This is
That'd be neat.
This could. What if all that was for you to get here? Wouldn't that be crazy?
I mean,
Wouldn't that be nuts?
And, like,
what
right
if you
at-
became a worldwide something nuts like one of the just imagine that, and you were like, this would have never happened had I not gone down that path.
Yeah.
And God used this to better my life and other people's lives. Like, how can He turn things that are so dark and use them for good? You
yeah,
know,
he can. He has.
it's
for me.
unbelievable.
And so I have to watch with getting my hopes up, but I
Yeah.
always do. I can't
Yeah,
help
I'm
it.
the same way.
Even
Yeah.
if I get let down, I'll just think of something else to get my hopes up again.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
That's hilarious. Yeah,
You know?
that's a good quality though.
Yeah.
I'll just find something else to get my hopes up about.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, man, I like what I love about where you're at right now is that you're just really honest about what happened to you,
Yeah.
what you went through. You're not trying to hold anything back. You're not trying to exaggerate anything. There's no phoniness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people, it's just like a breath of fresh air. Like somebody said recently, we're in the age of authenticity. And bam, I was like, man, that hit so hard because people are like craving that, you know? And so it's just, man, we need more of this, you know? I'm just so
Yeah.
glad you're telling this, your side, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think, here's the cool thing now. I can wrap this tie this in is
Okay.
there's the public side, or whoever writes about you, whoever's weird and bored enough to write about
I
you
know.
and keep doing it. There's your side, which you got to do today, and then there's the truth.
Yeah.
So now you've heard their side, the public, you've heard your side, Fallon's side, and so it's up to you to determine the truth. And I think that's, to me, it's pretty clear. They say it's always lies somewhere in the middle, but I think what's cool now is they got both to choose from. You know what I mean? You've told your story.
Yeah, there's
you can
that.
talk about it as much. Here's what the other thing we said real quick is looking for employment. You know, you're like, I'm kind of worried, they're going to run my background and I got to find somebody that, but okay, let's find somebody that knows every last detail about it. And so that way, if somebody tries to call or blackmail them and be like, you know what she did or what she was like, they'll be like, yeah, I know. She told me. And then hang up on them.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to find.
That's what I'm going to make sure is the case because I don't want any secrets. Honesty.
Exactly.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
The truth is easy to remember.
Oh, that's good.
All the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. So what do you, after all of this, what do you feel you learned, I would say, I guess? Like, what was the biggest life lesson, I guess, you took from this whole experience?
I didn't play the camera or the video. I didn't play the tape all the way through on I would be hurting some people, and I do have a purpose, and who knows if I'm not going to get married and have a baby. I mean, it's up to God. And if that's not in the plan, who knows how many children I could reach with these books.
Wow, yeah, that's good. I think, as it usually is usually the case, you'll end up being surprised about what his plan is.
We'll see.
I think it'll be better than you think.
I'm hopeful.
So what are you grateful for most? For three things, I always ask everybody this. What are three things that you're genuinely grateful for right now in your life?
Oh, I'm grateful for God, definitely. I'm grateful to still have my faith. And I'm grateful to have shelter and food and the necessities like that, because when you're in prison you take things for granted. Yeah. Like you think, oh, I don't have the newest purse or whatever. Trust me, you don't think about that stuff when you have nothing. Yeah. And I've never had nothing. Oh, wow. So whenever I got down to, oh, these are your white pants and white shirt and gray socks, that's it. Yep. I got used to being grateful. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. Anything else you want to say?
I want to be so grateful to John and Diane and Monica. They're my family that and Joey, my Uncle Joey, that they're rooting for me. Like, I can just feel them rooting for me.
Yeah. Oh, you need that. You need that.
And I was open and honest with what happened. And my thought was that they would be like, oh, you're crazy, and then not talk to me anymore after that. Yeah. But it was the exact opposite.
Oh, my God.
They got on the phone to people they know, and we're like, she needs a job. Da, da,
yeah.
Da.
There's gonna be so many people rooting for you.
I'm trying.
Man, it's just, it's so similar. It's it's so similar to what I went through. It's like holding up a mirror, and so it was truly a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Like, you don't know what you did for my self-confidence, because I can't tell you how many times over and over and over in my head that I just let it torment me. Yeah. Because you can't run from Google. You can't move anywhere. It'll follow you everywhere. Yeah. And and I know we're supposed to not care what people think, but that's just something that we do.
That's right.
It's human nature.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially in a small town.
Yep.
And with me not having any way of doing it in a classy way of telling my side, I just felt trapped. And so you actually freed me a little bit.
That is amazing. I didn't think about that.
You gave me an outlet vessel.
A cloud. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, you heard it. What a testimony. What a testimony. Wow. We need as many people as possible rooting for not only Fallon, but for me. And many people need that in your own life. So don't turn your back on your own people. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. That was good.
Yay!
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We really appreciate you watching and your support. This platform exists for stories like Fallon's. Support somebody who's going through a rough time. Support systems sometimes can make or break us. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.